Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Secretary. Last month, Chairman Meeks and I sent you a letter on these special immigration visas regarding Afghans who've worked with us over the years. General Milley said, quote, "We must remain faithful to those Afghans who risk their lives to help the United States troops and personnel." And he said, "We must, quote, do what's necessary to ensure their protection and, if necessary, get them out of the country." Just last week, Secretary Austin ordered General McKenzie to develop a plan to evacuate these people. But we need a place to temporarily house them while their visas finish processing, which falls within the State Department. And most importantly, we need President Biden as Commander in Chief to give the order. The military retrograde in Afghanistan could be complete as early as July, according to latest reports. And I've been told by your senior officials in your department that there's no way the special immigrant visas can be processed that quickly. So that means that these people will have a bullseye and a target on their back from the moment we leave the country. According to No One Left Behind, there have been 300 targeted killings of these people since 2014. And if we abandon them, we are signing their death warrants. Have you spoken to any country about temporarily housing these Afghanistans to process these visas? And if so, which countries and where are you in negotiations?
Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate it because I share both your concern and your commitment to those who put their lives on the line to help us in Afghanistan, our diplomats, our military. And let me do two things if I can. First, let me just, in direct response to your question, we are looking very actively at every possible contingency to make sure that we can accommodate and care for those who are who've helped us and are seeking to leave. And whether that's through the Special Immigrant Visa Program, whether that's through the refugee program, whether that's through parole, other things, we're looking very actively at everything. Let me just quickly tell you where I think we are with the Special Immigrant Visa Program itself. There are about 18,000 so-called principal applicants in the system. Of the 18,000, half are at the very early stages, by which I mean they've expressed interest. They haven't submitted applications or forms, but we think they're interested. Then there's another 9,000 who are much further along. Of those 9,000, about 30% are awaiting a so-called chief of mission approval. That is the approval that the chief of mission gives to determine that they are in fact eligible for the program. Once that determination is made, they move into the immigration process, and that's where about another 20% of them actively are. We had backlogs when it came to chief of mission approval. We had a backlog of about 5,500. We have surged staff, mostly here in Washington, because a lot of this work is actually done in Washington. We're adding by the end of July at least 50 people here in DC. To expedite this, we expect to be able to clear the backlog over the next few months at about the pace of 1,000 a month. We've also had an immigration backlog, those who are past chief of mission approval and are in the immigration process. That's because we've had challenges interviewing folks in Kabul, but and that was slowed by COVID. We've cleared that backlog. It was about 1,400. We're scheduling appointments in regular order. We have a quarterly report coming to you that will show, I think, the progress. The current cap, as you know, for special immigrant visas for Afghanistan is 26,000. That's what's been allocated. We've used 15,000, so we've got 11,000 left to accommodate potentially these 18,000 if everyone who's expressed interest actually follows through. So we're asking your support to add 8,000 to our cap so that we can accommodate everyone and then be able to come back to you if we need more. But we are.
And if I could just, if I could reclaim my time, and I feel very confident on the National Defense Authorization, we will increase that cap that you're requesting. Again, though, we only have 2 months before the DoD is completely out of Afghanistan, leaving these people behind. Is the department considering a process to get them out of country while these claims are being processed that I've been told could take up to a year or 2 possibly?
2 things quickly. We're considering every option, yes. Second, I don't think that the fact that our forces are withdrawing, one, we're not withdrawing, we're staying, the embassy is staying, Our programs are staying. We're working to make sure that other partners stay. We're building all of that up. And whatever happens in Afghanistan, if there is a significant deterioration in security, that could well happen. We've discussed this before. I don't think it's going to be something that happens from a Friday to a Monday. So I wouldn't necessarily equate the departure of our forces in July, August, or by early September with some kind of immediate deterioration in the situation.
Well, I think you're going to have a humanitarian crisis and a refugee crisis, and I think humanitarian parole is something, as you mentioned, we should be looking at as well. I yield back.